Aqua here again. Welcome back to FTB DW20 1.7.10. I am down under my base, and you can see I'm building the floor. And as you can also see, the well not loaded in properly. I'm building the floor down here. I decided I wanted the floor down here for working underneath, and I was trying to think of what's quick and easy to light the place and make it mob free. And it turns out, Alf Glass does both of them things. It's obviously it's glass, so mobs can't spawn it anyway, but it's also a light source, and it's pretty cheap. All it is, I've got plenty of mana in my mana pools, so it is normal glass thrown into a mana pool, turned into mana glass, and then that mana glass put through the elf portal to make it into elf glass. So I'm gradually filling this floor out. I'm going to have ways down into the temple still. I need to sort that out. Load, thank you. Whee! Now, I've prepped the temple. This is going to be the tier 6 altar, and I put in the corner bits and the self-sacrifice rune. So if we found a way down underneath here, which I've not actually got a very good way of getting down underneath here. Let's drop in through the holes for them. I have added an extra 21 self-sacrifice runes down each side, and then you need a pillar, like you need pillars here. So it goes back, if you remember, tier 2 is that, tier 3 is a pillar with glowstone, tier 4 is a pillar with blood brick, tier 5 is the beacon there, and tier 6 goes back to a pillar, so it goes back from beacon back to a pillar again. And what you want the pillar to be is 1 block higher. You want the cap of the pillar to be 1 block higher than the bloodstone. So if we jump in here, you'll see that the bloodstone is at Y36. So I put the stone blocks up to Y36 because we need the caps. We can't get the caps until we do the demon invasion, because the caps are made for things that the demons drop. So that's our next bit. What I'm going to do in here also is I'm going to do a new ritual under here, and I've got a bit carried away with the amount of ritual stones I've made. I think I need 40. No, I might need more than 40 for this. I'll take them. So I've got loads of ritual stones. We need these obviously for the demon invasion. So I made, I think, 4 stacks. What I've got under here. So if you remember before, under here I had a ritual of the feathered knife, which takes health off me and puts points into the LP network. Yeah, I'm going to change it for a different ritual, and it's one called Ritual Cry of the Eternal Soul. And what this does is, it's similar to the ritual of feathered knife in that it damages you. It takes you down to 1 heart. Actually, the feathered knife takes you down to 3. This immediately takes you down to 1 heart. And with this one, for every point of health that you put into your altar, yeah, then 3 points of LP come from the LP network into the altar. So it's a really good one for example, making a, for when we get to making a tier 6 altar, because my black generator with the witches up the top there, my other altar, the one with the funky locomotion on it, that one will be feeding my LP network. Where is it? There it is. That one will be feeding my LP network, and this one I'll be feeding into this altar, and the LP network will also be feeding in because I'm feeding into it because of this ritual. So that'll help us anyway make the next ritual, the next orb, the transcendental, I believe. Is it transcendental? I've not actually read it. Transcendent, there we go. And that is going to take a lot of LP. So you need 200,000 LP, and of course your thing there only has 10k to start with. So you need to be able to feed into it really fast, which is hopefully what this is going to do. It's going to feed into it fast enough that I can get 200,000 LP into the altar, because obviously when you're making them, you're not making them from your LP network, you're making it from the blood from the LP that's actually the blood that's actually in the altar there. So you see there, oh, look at that, cool. Actually shows you what your usage and your drain is. It's nice. So we're going to make this one and spam my ritual diviner there until it stops flashing green. There we go, and it's used all them stones. Maybe you haven't got enough. Let's get some more out in case there's not enough. Well, there you go. Actually, what was that then? 40, 50, 60, 72, 76. That's a lot of ritual stones. So this then actually sneaks up around the sides of the altar, and kind of hugs the pillars. So there's the pillar there, and this hugs the pillars. Now I've done it one lower to hide it underneath my red brick pattern here, but you can have it so it's up next to the altar. I've got it one lower, as you can see there. The actual picture on the thread shows you it one block higher than this, but it still works like this because the block is still in range of the altar. So if I turn on this now, nothing happens, because we also need the better activation crystal, because this is a higher level ritual. So we need an awakened one, which uses a demon blood shard in the alchemical chemistry set and some of the stuff that I've been making. So we need to get demons. Look at that, I can use a nether star instead. That's interesting. I think I've got a few, I don't know, I might not have a few spare nether stars. I've got to kill a demon or a wither. Now I actually need to kill a demon anyway, because we're going to need one for sacrifice at some point for the ritual for the demon invasion. So what I shall do then is I shall get some bits together and I'll get some demons summoned. Okay then, I've got some bits ready to do a little bit of summoning. We need to summon some elementals to get a demon blood shard, and we need to summon an actual demon itself. Now, something I want to make from Britannia first, really quickly. You may have seen this before. This is called... Well, I could make some of these tainted blood pendants, but I'm not going to bother with them just yet. I'm actually just going to make a flask. I'm going to make a flask of strength 2, so I can batter these guys a bit easier, because it all helps, of course. Now for that I need to find, where the hell is it? That guy. Botanical brewery. So I need a rune of mana, a brewing stand. So the only thing I can make in here is a brewing stand. There we go. I shall have to make a rune of mana, which I believe is 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to want one of them for it. One of them. And one of them. Let's quickly throw together a rune of mana. And I think that's right for that. Is that correct? It is. Wonderful. And of course we need to throw a stone on there, and I don't want my... There we go, one rune of mana. I don't want my bauble to pick it up, my belt. Right, not my belt, my ring. There. One quickly thrown together botanical brewery, thank you very much. Now I need a little bit of alpha glass, which I've got some in here. What I do when I'm making, because I'm making that much glass, I chuck a vacuum chest just behind the portal there, because you can throw a full inventory of stuff in the portal and it'll gradually feed it back out, but it takes ages to feed it back out one at a time, even though you throw it all in at once. So yeah, I've just got that vacuum chest there collecting that for me. There we go, that gives you a flask. And then I'm going to put it in front of here so I don't have to move any of the mana spreaders. That should hit it there. And what you do is just feed your things onto this. So there's a flask. And now we want a nether wart, a blaze powder, and a glowstone dust. And are they not touching it? I just have to bind it to it, okay. And that should go pretty quick, because, there we go, very quick indeed, because it's got 2 of them spreaders both pointing at it. Wonderful. So there's a flask of vigour, and let's go fight a demon. Now, my demon setup, my pedestal setup, was in here, but I've actually moved it because I want to show you something. So I've done is I've put it downstairs. If you're curious about the demon summoning, we're just going to summon an easy one. We've got low level ones, but if you want to do the tier 3, this is the actual tier 3 setup for the higher level demons. So this is the inner ring, then the middle ring is 1 block up, and it's kind of 2 out, well, it's kind of 3 out really, from the middle ring. I think I've set this up right anyway, and then the outer ring is 2 blocks higher. So that's what's going on there, if you was curious. I need to get an orb. I should have got one in here. And hopefully I won't die to this guy this time, like I did last time. Just tidy my inventory a little bit. That goes in there, that goes in there. And the rest of the stuff can stay on me. So first up, let's get an elemental and hope we get a weak shard. Now this sword's got looting on it, yeah, that helps. So I'm going for a fire elemental. So just a incendium on each of them. And let's have a sniff of this. So you see there you get 6 charges, which is very nice. Let's put these flames out. And hopefully I'll actually see the white particles and not hit him. You go. Where's he gone? He's hiding from me. So I managed to kill myself last time because these get a reflection ability. There we go. There we go. We've got Demon Blood Shard. Wonderful. So that's the first thing I wanted to get. Now it was a bit easy, wasn't it? That one. Next thing we want is Free Sanctus. These recipes are in the Blood Magic thread on the Minecraft forum. An Aether, a Tenebrae, that's not a Tenebrae, that's a Terrae. A Tenebrae, there we go. And what this is going to get is a Fallen Angel, which is a demon that wears the skin of Wave Tam. There he is. Hello, Way. How are you doing? Looks like he's stuck on the air. There we go. And you heard a little dog noise there when he dies. Look at this thing, Demon Crystal. So now we can summon this guy when we want him. Hello. And he follows around and stuff. I don't quite remember if I have to befriend him somehow. I think I may have to feed him something. But we can always kill him again. And when we kill him again, we get a Demon Crystal. So we need that. We're going to need that for later on. Now the next thing we're going to need, in fact, let's go make that. Let's carry on doing one thing at a time. Let's use a lift. Whee! Oops. A little bit jerky, you know, but there we go, up to the blood magic level. So what we can do now is, I wish I'd have brought that orb with me. Damn it, down again. What I needed to grab was the orb over there. That's why I just made an extra couple of master orbs just for using in recipes and stuff. Let's just fly up this time, it's a bit quicker. In we go. And I've set up another chemistry set here, and that's what we need the orb for, to go into there. And our Demon Blood Shard goes there, and we need our weak activation crystal that we've been using to activate our rituals. And that chap goes there, and that should start working. This needs at least a master, I believe, for this recipe, and that gets us the awakened activation crystal. Cool. So now when we come to it, we can activate that crystal downstairs. Oh, something else I've done. Just oh yeah, I took out the bricks under there so you can actually see through the glass below. Not sure if I like it, but it's done now. You can see the elevators and stuff like that. I don't mind it. So right, that can go away for now. As can, I'm starting to get inventory full of stuff. If you download my world, by the way, there's a safe there. I think it's set so that anyone can get in it, but it's just got some reinforced slates, and it's where I keep this strongbox and stuff when the altar is in its receded position. Right, what I've done is I've prepped a little bit. I need to orb that I've just left upstairs. What we need to do now is to make some of these guys. These are called Runes of the Orb, and this is another essential part of prepping for the demon invasion. I'm actually going to need my Archmage job as well for a second. So we're not generating any LP at the minute, or the witches aren't generating any. Up we go again. This would kill me without flight, I think, this size of this place. And let's grab that orb back out of there for a second. What these do, these actually increase your network by 2% each. So currently my LP network is 10 million, yeah? So it's at 10 million. So it's 20,000 this would have added on. Is it 20,000? Probably. You know, maths on camera never works for me. So what I need to do is orb in the middle there. It doesn't use the orbs up, but we need the orbs in there. and what I can do is get another 31 of them. So I'm going to have 32 of them in total, which is going to increase 25 will increase my LP network by 50%. So that'll take it up to 15 million from 10 million, and 15 million is the activation cost of the demon ritual. So that is why I have made at least 25 of these, because we need to get our LP network up, and the only way of doing it at this stage of the game, obviously once we've got a tier 6 orb, we'll have more. But the only way we can do this at the minute is by swapping some of these sacrifice runes out for these runes of the orb. So now what we should see when I put that guy back in there, alright, and you can live in there. There we go. What we can see now is we should see this going over 10 million, and it has, look. So we've got 4 in there, so that's going to increase a bit. What I'm going to do is I'll cut and I'll put all these down, because we're going to need at least 25 of these in here. I'm going to put all 32 in. It's going to slow down our LP gain a bit, because obviously I'm pulling 32 runes of sacrifice out, but it's a price we're going to have to pay. Okay then, while that's filling up, onto the next part of the build, and what I'm going to do is now I'm going to build somewhere for the demon invasion to be, and I want to mess about a bit, and like I mentioned earlier, I want to make a Laputa Island, which I think you'll like. For that we need some prismarine, need some Gaia spirits, I believe. What do we need? Let me have a look. Laputa. Now it's been a bit of time since I recorded that last bit, and I think I may have lost a bit of footage, because it seemed to finish a bit abruptly. I've just watched it back, so I may have lost a bit of footage. Earth and air, and a dragonstone, and a floating flower. So there's a floating flower. Earth and air. Dragonstone is a mana diamond through the portal. So let's get that done. Boop. Thank you very much, Mr. Elf. And there. 3 of them. Earth and air. Gets me a Shadow of Laputa. Cool. Now, does this go straight to a 5? No, it goes to a 2, look. So 2. So I want to get this all the way to a 20. So I do actually have to fight a couple more Gaia spirits. So for that, I'm going to have to make another beacon, because well, no, I don't actually have to make a beacon. There we go. We're up to 9. I need to get some more Gaia spirits, so I shall get that sorted. And I might as well do a fight on camera. So once I'm ready to fight a couple of Gaia spirits, we'll have a pop at them. Okay then, so I made a little setup out here, and while that's filling that up, I'll just quickly show you. Since I have last done Gaia spirits in this world, there's been a bit of a change. We have it updated, of course. I'm on 1.0.3, and with that came a slight change to how you make the terror steel. So now instead, before, when we made it early in the series, we made it on a beacon. Now we make it on this thing. It's called a terrestrial agglomeration plate. Make it like so, and you throw the bits on there. So you throw the 3 bits on there: mana diamond, a mana pearl, and a mana steel ingot, and it uses about half a pool of mana, and you get these terror steel ingots. So I did actually make the setup to fight the Gaia spirit in this end room here, which I think it might have teleported out anyway, but I believe the beacon needs to see the sky, so I've had to move outside. And what I've done is I've used a bit of blood magic. I've made a little ritual here called a ritual of containment, and that will not stop the guy teleporting away. So he'll still teleport away, but what it will do is it will make it so that when he does come back, he won't run all over the place. So it's just going to hold him near the beacon when he comes in to fight me. Now I just need to. Oops. Where's ritual of Gaia? Need to remember where to put these. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and they want to be a block above the beacon. Is that right? So about there then. So 2 blocks out from them. Let's see if that's correct. So quickly chuck these bits of these Gaia pylons up. Now I've put the fallen canard there, and yeah, it's not affecting me anyway. I didn't think it would be. So, I'm getting regen from that over there. So the fallen canard's actually a better regen though, so I might actually, yeah, I think I will. What I'll do is I'm just going to block this beacon in here by putting a block over the top of it, like so. And now I should get the regen 3 off the canard instead. There we go. So I've got better regen. Now all I need to do is click on, shift click on there, nice one, and have some strength. You see it teleports away, but when it comes back in, oh, if he does come back in. So the purple cloud gives you withering, which is why I wanted regen effects on. Remember, on this Let's Play I don't actually have natural regen, I've got it turned off. So without any kind of regen, withering really does damage me. So there he is, he's just trapped a little bit in the middle there. Not massively. These little pixie things only take one hit, but it's worth killing them because they seem to get on your nerves a bit. So I think this gives me 8. There we go, now he's coming to here. And it spawns loads of ads. And the ritual containment keeps them in here as well, which is nice. So it just stops them from becoming so much of a problem. Witches and all sorts in there. So this is part of the change. I think before he changed he didn't do this extra bit where he goes into like a invulnerable form, spawns a load of guys. Once you kill all these guys he should come back. It's a mess here, isn't it? So now he's come back. Looks like he's poisoned from the witch as well, which is quite funny. Come here, you. He's very close to dead, but he just keeps jumping all over the place now. I have to try a ranged weapon on him. I'm not trying a ranged weapon. There we go. One dead guy spirit. Oh Christ, look at the state of me. Okay, so that will get me 8 of the... I've got no space anyway. That'll get me hearts and everything. Come on. Sugar, guy spirit. There we go. That gets me 8. Yeah. So I needed, I believe, another, at least another 1 guy spirit. So I'll kill a couple more of these guys, and I shall be back when we can make the power 20 Laputa shard. Okay, then this looks like an alrightish area. I think the seabed's fairly flat down here. It's a bit deep though. I don't know if this is how well this is going to work, but I see, as you can see, I'm still full of arrows. I've got this to a shadow power 20, so I did another guy that got me 16, and that's good to go. So what I can do now is, if I click this on the ground, I hope it's going to work on the ground. Am I drowning? Okay, it's done something. So it's consumed the shard, and if we look here, check this out. So what it's doing is it's teleporting the land mass from down there. It's going to take a while, so I'm going to have to cut again. What I'm going to do is I have got a little tool here that I can make that is going to flatten the top layer of this for me, and I'll show you this in action while we're waiting for that. Now in my bag here I have got some bits and bobs ready to make this. We've got, so that's the pattern it wants to be in. Rune of Autumn, Rune of Winter, Rune of Spring, Rune of Summer, so that's the 4 seasonal runes, a pasture seed, a terra steel ingot, and this thing called a Rod of the Lands. Now, I don't actually remember what the Rod of the Lands does. Should we have a look? Rod of the Lands. Let's come back out of there. And mystical items. Rod of the Lands. You can place dirt blocks on. Okay, so you can create dirt blocks with it. That's what the Rod of the Lands does. But this upgraded version, what it does, it's called the Rod of Terra Firma. What this does, it uses mana, so I'm going to get my mana mirror out my bag. There we go. I brought a chunk loader as well because I'm going to want this place chunk loaded. I think I'm far enough from my base so that this won't be naturally chunk loaded when I'm online at my base. but I want to be able to chunk load it as and when I want to, so that's why I brought a chunk loader. So what we can do here with this thing, this rod of the land, is it'll bring the land down to whatever level I'm at. Get away quicksand, I don't want you. So if I use this, it's actually spreading land out as well, isn't it? I didn't know it spreaded land out. It's made a mess on it. It's made an horrible mess. So as you can see there, I've made an horrible mess that I'm going to have to tidy up. And I didn't know it grew hills up as well. I thought it flattened stuff. I was expecting to flatten this and not grow that. I made a bit of a mess of my world there. Well, never mind. What it does is, the level you stood at, it'll create a flat level around that. It clearly doesn't like quicksand though. But I suppose if I come down here I can flatten that out again now, can I? So I'm guessing this is using quite a bit of mana, but mana is something that I've got plenty of course. And I can flatten big areas out like this. So it really does, if you wanted to clear a big bit of land out. You spread it out over the sea, you're not here? No, good. Like that. Right. I guess I'll cut then. Until it's spread out somewhere on it. Oh, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. So there we go. You can see we're creating an island. I'm not sure I'm going to use this thing on it then, but I kind of want the top of it a bit flattish. Oh, look at that, we've got a sky. Oh, it's abyssal stone. Right, I'll be back when this is formed into a full island. And there we are then, with a lovely little floating island, courtesy of Britannia. Now, I really like this. I've made it out of, obviously, just a big lump of stone out the sea, but I'm sure you can imagine how creative you can be with these. You can do different size ones, you can have them at different heights, if you are raising land from different heights and stuff. Well, there we go. This is just a little bit of stone. One I've equal traded all the top to make this stone. Now I didn't have to do this ritual on here. I could have just done it on the land, but this is still a work in progress and things might go wrong. And it is still. I just wanted to just kind of showcase it a bit by putting it on its own little platform, showing you how it spreads. Now, if this was on the land, I believe it'll go 100 blocks. It'll spread out to 100 blocks total. But what we're going to do here is going to do it here. So I've got my chunk loader in there, and that's currently loading this whole area, because I do want this to be loaded when I log off after I finish recording, because it's going to grow the little demon village that we're going to produce. So let's stick that in there. I've got a bag of stuff with me, and I've already done a little bit of the ritual just to find out where it was. But spam the convocation of the damned, and it's going to place all these ritual stones. I had 2 stacks, I had 128 on me, and then we'll see. I think it takes 90, 94, 96, something like that. So we should have 30 odd left over once I finish spamming. Come on, Christ. There we go. And oh, no, it's 128. Is that all of them? It looks symmetrical, doesn't it? I had 2 stacks of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 8 of them yet. Well, anyway, we'll see if it's correct. I might have to go and get some. In fact, I've got more on me, haven't I? Let's double check. Let's double check that's finished. Okay, it turned out 128 then. I'm sure I had 128 on me. Unless I dropped some into my AE system by mistake. So there we go. We have got our ritual laid out. Now what we need to do is we need to put one of these jars on each of these dusk runes. There we go. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be feeding all this into the master ritual stone. So actually, I want to do that actually, don't I? So I'm just copying the way that Wade did it on his developer's commentary. So what we do, we have a blood altar there above that, and what we're going to want is at some point we're going to want to trap our demon in there and sacrifice him. So I'm going to put that like that. Now the way Wade did it, and it's a very cool way of doing it, is you put 4 relays down. and then you can put 4 levers down. Then you can control when the ritual is going to start, because it's controlled off the levers. So I want these levers down and I'll turn it on. And now I need my alchemical router. So the only tricky bit with this, well, not tricky, is that you've got to be quick to get them both linked to the relay, otherwise it doesn't do it properly. So clear, shift right click, right click, right click, shift right click, shift right click, right click, right click. There you see, you can see at the bottom there I've got both of them going into that. Now if I want quick enough, then I've got 2 lots of the yellow one in, which isn't a massive problem because you can just link it at the end once the yellow's gone in, but I'm trying to get it all done proper. So I'll go around, I'll get all these linked in. Okay then, that's all the reagents linked to the relays. So now I believe it's just a case, I've not actually watched Wade's video for a few days, I may forget this and do something wrong. So I need to make sure I've got 15 million in my network. If we look, we've got 16, just over 16 million, 76,000. So I've got an extra million over, so that's all them augmentation runes that I put on have actually got me well over, well, just over 16 million. So it's technically got enough. I hope I don't die here. It's going to be a bit of a lightning show when I activate this. So that's activated. Now what I need to do is turn these on, and nothing's happened. Why has nothing happened? I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? That should be feeding. Oh, the server crashed. Yeah. Nothing's happening. Why is nothing happening? I'm not even getting the graphic anymore. I should be back in a sec. Okay, silly mate, I've not actually linked the relays to the Master Stone, have I? So they want to be turned on. That's on yet. On. Cool. So now what I need to do is carry on linking these. So clear, click, click, and then clear. Do the other one. Click. So that's Aquacellus and Incendium linked to the Master Ritual Stone, and I'll go around and do 4 of these. Right then, that's all 8 of them linked. So now, because I've already activated the ritual, and you'll see actually, we'll just double check that. If we should be down, yeah, look at that, we're down to 1 million. So it has taken 15 million LP off me. So if I don't do this in the first shot, if I do something wrong, that's why I've been cutting, because I want to make sure I got it right, because if I do it wrong I have to wait for ages to get 15 million again. So now if I turn these on, there we go, I'm going to start getting a big lightning shot, and when I cut then I also save my well just in case anything goes wrong. So scary lightning. Jesus. What should be happening now is the reagent should be starting to feed into the Master Ritual Stone. There you go, look. So if we look with the router at the Master Ritual Stone, you'll see that that's getting reagents spewed into it. These are all starting to drain down. 14,000. So this lightning show will go on until all these are drained. So I shall keep floating around so I don't get caught by the lightning. I can imagine this being a little bit irritating if on a survey, if someone's doing this while you're trying to do something yourself, to make sure that people know what's going on. Saying that though, if she was doing this on a survey, you'd let people know so they can come and watch it, I guess. Woo. So we're starting to get there. It's not 10,000. These are all empty. I'm going to start collecting these because once this becomes a demon invasion, all these blocks are going to get destroyed. So I don't want to try and collect as many back as I can. They're quite hard to break. I don't know why it's like that, but start breaking some of these. I think we're about done. Are we done? Oh, no. Why are you not drained? 12,000. Did I not link that properly? No, not by the look of it. Okay, so let's shift click, click, click. So even if you do, like you see there, I'd obviously not linked that one correctly, but it'll still feed in. So as long as the Master Ritual Stone gets 16,000 of each of the reagents, you should be okay, I believe. Is that everything? Come on. Nearly, we're nearly there. Bloody hell. Okay, I think the lightning stopped, yet the little graphics stopped. The ritual circle thing. So now, what I believe I do is I need to spawn a demon, sacrifice him on the altar, and it hasn't worked. I've done something wrong again. Damn it. Okay then, this is what I needed. I needed to put an iron sword into my altar here. Now, I thought I'd show you this while I was here really quick. I've been trying to make some ethereal slates, say the tier 5 one. After I had got this full, I just switched that, and I've got it so it's feeding in imbued slates, and it hasn't got enough. This has not got enough power to imbue an ethereal slate. Now that ritual that I've showed, not a ritual, the thing I showed you earlier, yeah, the ritual I showed you earlier on the altar downstairs earlier in the episode. Now that doesn't work exactly as I thought it did. There's a certain runes that we need to make to augment that, to make it work. That's what next episode is going to be about. At the minute, this is not capable of making an ethereal. It just doesn't produce enough off the make witches. It does not get the next level of slate. We need the next level of slate to make certain runes we need to make it so you can do things like get the next level of slate itself, and to do things like get the tier 6 blood orb, because the tier 6 blood orb needs 200,000 LP and it drains it very quick. There's 2 runes we're going to need, and I'll cover these both in the next episode. There's the rune of dislocation and there's the rune of superior capacity. No, there isn't. There's a rune of acceleration. That's the 2 we need. Acceleration and dislocation. I don't know about capacity. I don't think I need capacity. So basically, that ritual I showed you earlier, I'll tell you about when we're flying back to the ritual site. The one I showed you earlier, that sacrifices, that goes on the altar as a self-sacrifice thing. It puts LP into the tank's buffer, not actually into the altar. It puts it into the altar's buffer, and the buffer's limited to 20 LP a tick transfer rate. So you need runes that will increase the size of that buffer, and you need runes that will increase the tick transfer rate of that buffer. So that's the 2 runes we'll be making, and that you will see next episode. It makes it so it fills the altar up massively fast. You literally, the altar fills up to 10k, because obviously with that ritual it's taking, for every LP, every 1 LP it's taken off you, it's taking 3 from your network as well. Right. Tell you what, as soon as I'm bricking these, I'll just break all this down. So I think all we need left, oh no, best not breaking the ritual stones, so this is activate, that's through it, let's just do it. So yeah, I needed a dagger of sacrifice, of course I did. Let's not do that. Let's spawn wave time again, and let's sacrifice him this time. There we go, and that is the portal. Woo! So this is going to start destroying all these ritual stones. So I want to keep as many of these as I can, because They're not exactly expensive, but there's no point in letting him die, is there? So what we should see is it's pretty slow to start with, but what we should see is the portal to the demon zone, demon realm is now open. What we should see is the demons will start coming through, they'll start building houses. That's not a demon, that's just a normal zombie. If we hang around here a bit, what we should see, so look, it's built a couple of stone blocks there. Now, oh, there we go, look, it's starting to build roads, and there we go, we've got a building, cool. So it's starting to spread, oops, into the overworld. I don't reckon any of the actual blocks of the invasion doesn't actually cause any harm. And there we've got our first demon, and he's a fire demon, and he's hurting me. It's quite tough. There we go. And cool, we've got our first life shards. So life shards are what we need. There's two shards. There's life shards, and I don't remember the name of the other one. But oh, hello. I'm gonna have to be careful here, aren't I? Let me get this guy down, hopefully, and then let's get some food eating. The fact it's night time not helping. There we go. There's the other start. Soul shard is the other one. So let me sleep because I don't need no creepers joining in with this. And zombies, piss off you. So as you can see, it's still got a broken texture for the actual portal itself. On Wear Time's video, he had it sped up, which you can do in the config, and on that it created like a nice altar shape around here. Whereas when I did it in a test world, it didn't actually create much of an altar here, but what it did do is it created roads, and it created buildings on the roads, and it all spread out. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let this spread out and fill the top of this little island. If I'd done it on the land, let's say it could have spread out bigger, but I wanted to contain it just in case anything's a little bit dicky with it. Hello. Oh, why am I not regening? Oh, because I don't have regen on this server. I'm an idiot. Right, I'm going to go before I die. I'm going to go get some regen on me. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you found it entertaining, and next episode we'll be back here. We'll be collecting the bits we need to make our tier 6 altar, and we will then be making a tier 6 orb, which is going to take a little bit of doing, and I'm also going to try and fit blood armor in next episode as well. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Cheers, bye.